G'day guys, so FOMC and CPI have both occurred now in the last 48 hours. We were expecting a little bit more volatility. There wasn't that much actually. I'm quite surprised by the lack of volatility we saw. We didn't even really see a 10% move. But other than that, it's gone pretty typical. It went to the upside, and that's due to the fact that the inflation came in lower and FOMC came in exactly the same at 50 basis points. So nothing really out of the ordinary other than inflation coming in lower. But even that didn't really lead to a massive amount of upside price action, just a little bit. But I suppose the interesting things we need to look at are in the charts today, and we can discuss that a bit more as to why we didn't move as much as we thought we would. And yeah, we'll get into that in a second. But before we get into the actual charts themselves, we need to look into the pinned comment and description. Check them out. We've got the Crypto Academy down there. You can learn how to trade using that course. We've got BitGet Exchange. We've got the VIP Telegram group, which you can take trades in. And then we've also got the Community Discussion Telegram group, which is a free group that you can join to discuss the market 24/7 with other subscribers. So without further ado, let's get into the charts. So I'm going to say straight off the bat, the reason why we didn't really move as much as people thought we would for Bitcoin probably has something to do with the fact that we had a uptrending RSI line in that fashion there. And before these events even triggered, we actually broke down below that line. We were in a weak position before the events even happened. On top of that, we were in an ascending channel formation before the events even happened, and we broke down from the ascending channel formation actually briefly and found support on a separate uptrending line before it happened. So the reason why we didn't see much volatility, in my opinion, on Bitcoin is because we were actually not in a very good position to begin with. And so realistically, if those events didn't happen, which is an if, and obviously it's not even really worth considering, but it's just worth understanding. If these events didn't happen, we moved upwards slightly, yeah? We moved upwards from, 16.8k up to 18.4k, which actually is a pretty significant move, but it's nothing too major considering the events. If those events didn't happen, which would drive the price action upwards, we would have been downwards. So we've kind of compensated here for Bitcoin. It's like, if nothing happened, we would have gone downwards, we would have broken down towards those lower levels. But since the events happened, and since the TA was bearish, yeah, we didn't go upwards as much as we would have expected, but we did go upwards when we were meant to go downwards. So in a way, the events actually did save us quite a bit there for Bitcoin. And so they actually did have a pretty major effect, regardless of whether it's reflected or not in the price charts. Now, there's good news and bad news for Bitcoin. The good news is, and we can delete everything to kind of understand it, the good news is we have gotten back above that June level. That level we found in June as the low, we've finally gotten back above that, and we're currently holding for support, which is great. That's about where the good news ends, unfortunately, because everything else doesn't look very good. Yeah, that level's being held, but I don't know, guys. The chart just doesn't look good, okay? We've got downtrending volume on the volume chart ever since we started this move upwards. We've got bearish divergence playing out on the daily chart. We've got, what else do we have here? We have an uptrending support line here, which is great to see, but ultimately we have reached that overbought territory. And realistically, after you enter overbought territory, you generally need to correct quite a bit. We haven't really corrected that much, and we're still kind of high up there in that territory there. We are still holding RSI support. We do have a descending channel formation in the short term, which is pretty good. But, ultimately, I'm not seeing a massive amount of strength. We are at resistance on the weekly chart RSI, which is something we need to look at extensively towards the end of this video. It's not particularly strong. And overall, of course, we are still in a bearish channel formation. So, take it as you will. I don't think Bitcoin looks particularly strong right now. But what I will say is this. So long as we're holding 17.7k, it's all good. So long as we're holding that level, cool. The minute we lose that level, close the daily candle below that level again, then we're back in that range, right? We lose that level, 17.7k, we're back downwards in that lower range, and we're back in the danger zone, and we're probably going to be retesting the lows if that happens. But at this point in time, yes, the TA isn't looking particularly strong. However, we are above support, right? We are above support. We can't deny that. So we don't look terrible at this point. If we lose that support on daily candle, not looking particularly good. Now, with all this said, I do think that the bottom is in for Bitcoin, right? I'm not particularly confident in saying that, but I do think it's about a 60 to 70% probability that the bottom is in for Bitcoin. That's something I discussed yesterday. I do believe that. And that's based on the 4-year cycle, based on a lot of things, based on this uptrending support line stemming from 2014, based on horizontal support set stemming from 2018 that we tested at the same time as we tested that diagonal support line. There's lots of reasons why I think the bottom is... I slightly think that the bottom is in here for Bitcoin. But, I don't know. Looking at these charts doesn't make me too confident right now. I've said it before, I'll say it again. We do need to break above this downtrending yellow line. We do need to break above the bull market support band, and we probably do need to break above the 200-day SMA as well in order for the bottom to be in Bitcoin. Now, why do I say the 200-day SMA? I say the 200-day SMA because we broke above the bull market support band here in May 2022, and we came back down. Where did we get rejected from? We got rejected from a 200. So ultimately, I'm adding that to the analysis. I've generally said before that a weekly close above the bull market support band would equal a buy. I'm now going to say that a weekly close above the bull market support band and a daily close above the 200-day SMA will equal a buy. If we break all three of these things, we break the yellow line, we break the bull market support band, and we break the 200-day SMA, that's when Bitcoin really starts to look strong. Until then, on a macro position, it doesn't look good. Shorter term, yeah, we've taken 17.7k, but that's about all we can say about it in the shorter term. That's good news. We've still got quite a bit ahead of us here. And again, I do think it's more likely than not the bottom is in, but I'm just looking at it objectively. I don't think Bitcoin is in a overly powerful position. I think the S&P 500 looks terrible, and I think that wick to the upside that we broke above briefly, this line stemming from December 2021, was very bearish. And I think the same thing about Bitcoin. This daily candle chart, this daily candle wick we saw, in fact, two of them, they're not good wicks. They're not positive wicks. That's not good news. That's not what a good chart looks like. It looks unhealthy at this point. Now, whether or not we hold it is a different story to whether or not it looks good. I do hope we hold it. I do think there is a chance we hold 17.7k. And we'll just have to wait and see ultimately. And that's why this video is going to be short and sweet, because there's not much I can really add to the charts right now. We need to give the charts time to play out. The thing with right now on Bitcoin is that we've only been above this level, above this 17.7k level for like 3 days, if that, 2 days. So we haven't really got much price action to go off above that level. We don't really have any RSI to look at. We don't really have any volume to look at really. It's just kind of speculative. In a couple more days, if we're still above that level, we can do some actual analysis. At this point in time, all I can say is that it looks relatively weak. And all I can say is that this strong support zone, it is a strong support zone. And we did get above there for a reason, right? We wouldn't be there if there wasn't a reason for us to be there. Okay, CPI gave us a reason to be there. Inflation came in lower. That's good news. We just need to hold on to it now. And that's really all that matters. We just need to hold on to that zone. And, you know, on a macro scale, what are we looking at really? This is something I discussed yesterday. If you're looking at macro, what you're looking at is these three lines here on the daily chart that I discussed for 200, the bull market support band, and a yellow line. And you're also looking at the weekly chart RSI, which is at resistance right now. Those are the two things you need to be looking at on a macro scale. On a shorter term scale, you just need to have all your eyes on 17.7k. That's literally the only things you need to care about for Bitcoin right now. That's why the video is short, because there's really not much to say other than that. There's three important things you need to look at: 17.7k, weekly chart RSI, which is here, and the three important indicators on the daily chart: the yellow line, bull market support band, and 200-day SMA. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. And I apologize for not really doing any actual proper analysis here, just kind of observing the charts today. Not much analysis to do, really, and we'll get into it again tomorrow. Cheers. I want to briefly interrupt this video to talk about the BitGet Exchange. The BitGet Exchange has 5 times lower fees than Binance, which is the biggest major exchange in the cryptocurrency market on futures. It also has 0 fees on every single spot pair, so you can trade spot for entirely free, no fees included. It runs events. Right now it's got a FIFA World Cup event sponsored by Messi, the football player. It's got copy trading, strategy trading. It's got exclusive rewards and discounts in the reward center. It's got everything you need for a trader using exchange. This is the exchange I personally use as a trader for my everyday trading, and I highly recommend everyone does so at the Wolves of Crypto YouTube channel. Sign up using my referral link for exclusive rewards and discounts. That really helps out the channel, and I appreciate it. For my fans from the United States of America, you can sign up using this exchange with a VPN and use the exchange with a VPN and just sign up using my referral link like normal, and you'll be treated like a normal customer because this is also a non-KYC exchange. So make sure to sign up using my referral link in the pinned comment or the description below, and without further ado, let's get back into the video.